Hi everyone, Kranti this side, and in this video we will talk about what is the exact strategy you should be using as an online coach when you are want to sell your offer through webinars. So which strategy you should be, like whether you should be doing a free webinar or a paid webinar. So when I say webinar, it could be a webinar, workshop, 3-day challenge, 5-day challenge, any kind of that thing which you are delivering online via Zoom. Okay, so we'll discuss about what is the merit of doing a free webinar, what is the demerit of it, and the same goes for paid webinars. Okay, and we'll also talk about at which stage you should be doing what. Okay, and what stage you are at what your audience awareness levels are. Okay, so let's get down into straight to the topic, right? So first of all, you will understand why we do webinars. Okay, why, first of all, why we do webinars is because we want to sell something. So before you do webinars, you should have something to sell. It could be a course for rupees 5,000, for rupees 10,000, or maybe a coaching program, or maybe your next level of mentorship, or maybe high ticket coaching program. Whatever it is, you should have something to sell. Otherwise your whole flow will be like, whole webinar strategy will be blown up because you have nothing to sell, and then it's like a waste of money, because you will be getting the audience through paid ads. So for example, I run paid ads to get leads for my AdMediZ workshop. Also I run my I run my clients advertisement over Meta ads over Facebook and Instagram to get leads, so that they can sell their next level thing. For example, if this is the free webinar is your Tripwire. So Tripwire, or you can say the first lead magnet. Okay, so what is a lead magnet? Something, something that is providing people, whether you are doing what for free or for a small price. Okay, so that people get to know about you through some value transfer, so that builds them the trust, and that builds the whole transaction kind of thing for next level of your courses. Okay, so this, for this webinar, it will be like L0, level 0. So this is would be the webinar kind. This is your webinar in your business model. Okay, it could be a webinar, workshop, okay, 3-day challenge, 5-day challenge, or could be a 21-day challenge. Okay, and whatever you are doing, whatever it is, you are doing it live. So this will be your L0. Now what is L1 is your course, okay, which you are selling inside the webinar after delivering the value for 2 or 3 hours. How it matters, like it doesn't matter like what is the length of your webinar, as long as you are providing value. Okay, so you cannot compare your webinar to the other people webinar. It can differ to many things. Okay, so in your L1 you can sell a course starting from 5,000, 6,000, 10,000. Okay, now the amount you are going to sell inside the upsell depends upon the audience you are catering to. For example, in India, it's better to start to sell something at 6,000 rupees. It works in the market because of the purchasing power. If you sell something to the Dubai audience, US audience, you can raise up the pricing to 12,000, 50,000 rupees, and people can easily buy it because people have that purchasing power. Okay, so now we have understood that our webinar is a tripwire or a lead magnet to attract the customer of top of the funnel. I will talk about the top of the funnel in some other video. It's like whole thing. Funnel is a strategy of client leads acquisition, so that you build the awareness, then they become some warm audience, cold, warm, and then hot buyers. This is the whole strategy of a funnel that I have told you in short. So this will be this webinar. It could be a paid, it could be a free. So two ways you can go. Now see, now if you are going for a free webinar, so let's talk about the differences, then we'll talk about which one should we go for. So in a free webinar, the intent is low. So intent is low, it means that the audience level intent is low, like they are found something for free and then they just sign up on it. Okay, maybe they sign up on your landing page, it doesn't matter much. But if the intent is like, if they are just looking around, and like the pain is not that much, okay, that is why they have signed up just to look out things. Whereas in paid webinar, the intent is very high, people want a immediate kind of solution, that's why they are signing up. For an example, For one of my client, we ran an ad, we ran an webinar for a master class, for a webinar. You can call it anything, webinar, master class, workshop, bit anything, for a like parenting, for parents whose kids are on a autism spectrum. Okay, then we generate the leads at paid. So we were selling at 199 rupees, and people are paying that money to get into the workshop or master class, because the pain is very high and they want an immediate solution. Okay, and so that is why intent is very high. Now if you talk about the conversion inside the webinar, it's like very, we have low show up rates in the free webinar. And if you talk about the industry standard, the show up rate, a show up rate of percentage is around 20% to 30% people show. It means that if 100 people have registered for the webinar on a weekly basis, then only 30 people max will show up. If it is like, if more people are showing up, then it's very great, it's good for you. But this is the usual scenario that I have seen and many other clients of mine have seen. Now if we talk about the same show up rate for the webinar that is paid, okay, so that will around give you 70 to 80% of people will show up. Okay, so show up rate, it's around 70 to 80%, and those people who are not showing up this workshop will show up in the next workshop. So you can say at most 100% of the people show up if you are doing it continuously on a multiple times. Okay, so this makes that high show up rate, and the purchase intent will be higher for your L1 programs. Here you will get signups high. Okay, many people will sign ups, but show up rate is going to be high. Okay, I'll also talk about the cost per lead when you are running a free webinar versus you are running a paid webinar. Okay, then the lead quality. The lead quality here in free webinar are freeloaders and mixed kind of thing. Okay, mixed kind of audiences will come. You will not be able to actually exactly segregate like at what like the quality of audience is like mixed. Some are business owners, some are freeloaders, some are from MLM, some are freelancers, some are agency owners. Any kind of people can be inside it because it's free. Because it's free, and when you don't pay, you don't pay attention, and when you pay attention, and when you pay more, you pay more attention. That is why the lead quality in paid webinar are a lot higher in comparison to lead quality of free webinar. Okay, so when the lead quality is much higher, the purchase intent is also raises. Here the purchase intent will be very dramatic situation, like very low, you can say. And if you are getting a 10% conversion in your free webinar, then it's good. Okay, but in paid webinar you will see that the conversion can go up to 15 to 20%. Okay, and here like it's very difficult to get 15 to 20% of conversion if you are like doing it for the first time or maybe a couple of time also. Okay, so cracking both the things is tough. Cracking both the webinar strategy is tough. It's not going to be easy for you like if you do couple of times. One of my clients, I've seen that on an average you have to do at least 15 to 20 times. You have to take free webinars and then you have to switch to paid paid webinars. Otherwise you will not understand your end customer, what are their end goals, what is their desires that they are looking for. Okay, so you need to do first free webinar and then shift to paid webinar. Now which one should you do at what stage you are? For example, you should be doing free webinar if you don't have much credibility into the online coaching industry or maybe into the online space. For example, you just started out, your Instagram is new, your LinkedIn is new, you don't have much connections, you don't have much followers, and people actually judge you basis on those pointers, and you don't have much of the case studies, testimonials, feedback and all of those area. Then you should be start with free webinars. Okay, so this is for people, new coaches with less experience and authority, or you can say results, etc. Okay, this one should be uh, authority based coach. Authority basis coaches have following on Insta, LinkedIn, Y2, anyone. So that you can show some kind of credibility, that that is why you are taking money from people. Even if it was, for example, I'm like doing my Admit Easy workshop every weekend. So I don't take any money because I don't have that much of credibility. But for example, if some credible person do it, those have years of experience and kind of results, then they will charge for you. They might charge you 99 rupees, so that they understand the buying intent of you. Okay, so people who are starting out with lesser authority should go for a webinar, so that they provide enough value inside those webinars. Then they pitch them by building the trust. So the whole aim is to build the game of trust. Okay, the whole game of doing webinars is to build the trust, so that people trust you with your story, and then trust convert then transaction. Okay, transaction, it will convert from transaction. Okay, now let us so I hope you understood about that, which one you should go for. And like today I was on a sales call with a prospect, and she was a new coach when it comes to like in terms of ad. Okay, she already have a good following on the LinkedIn, but over the, if you talk about ads, people see results. So that is where she lacking. So we recommended so I recommended her to go for a free webinar. Okay, and to go for paid webinar also, because the dynamics of costing also changes. I will just talk about in a while. So for example, the ad spend that you will go for free webinar is very much different when you go for paid webinar. Okay, so I will tell you. Okay, so let's talk about that. So we have understood about the ad strategy. Okay, which one you should go for. Now we talk about the budget. What is the budget and ad spend you have to plan for both of the, for a free webinar? What is the, like for example, if you talk about, let's just say you have prepared your whole webinar, whole PPT presentation and everything. Now if you are spending 1000 rupees per day, 1000 rupees per day, then at a cost per lead means that you are running ads on Meta Ads. Okay, on Meta Ads, what you need to understand, cost per lead will come around on an average, it could be lesser or upper than 50 rupees. Okay, this is an estimated cost that for any kind of industry, if you are running good ads, you will get this kind of cost per lead. Now if you are doing a one webinar every week, so you will weekly budget will be 7,000 rupees. Okay, on a weekly basis you are spending one Meta ad 7,000 rupees. So it means that how many people are going to sign up? So it's going to be 140 people. So total participant is going to be 140. Now out of these 140 people, for a free webinar, not everyone is going to show up. So show up rate in the webinar will be 30%. Okay, that is around if you say 40 people, so 40 people will attend. Okay, 40 people will attend. Now out of these 40 people, your webinar conversion, if you talk about if it's good, then if you're doing a 10% conversion, it means it is good, and 4 people are converting. And 4 people are converting at, for example, you are selling a 5,000 rupees course. So you will be making 20,000 rupees after spending 7,000 in that week. This is the math. You are at a profitable if these numbers are going right. Okay, so let's just say the numbers for this, for a paid webinar. So a beginner coach can start with 500 rupees to 1,000 rupees per day ad budget and get these numbers for themselves if they know the right system and processes to execute. Now if we talk about a paid webinar, if we say about we have to run, for example, 2500 rupees per day. Okay, we have to spend a bit more here because of the dynamics. People, we need more people inside the webinar, that's why. Okay, so if we are running 2500 rupees per day, then cost per lead at a higher level, it ranges from 350 to 500. Okay, let's just say you take the upper limit 500 rupees, because in most of the, if you optimize your ads on a very good level, then you can get your cost per lead at 350, which is very sweet spot of getting a paid lead for a workshop of, maybe for example, you are doing a paid webinar at 51 rupees, 99 rupees, or 199 rupees, whatever the amount is. If you're getting a cost per lead between this ranges, this is the ideal sweet spot for a cost per lead, or cost per, you can say cost per lead, you can say cost per purchase, cost per acquisition. Okay, you can name it whatever, but you, like, gist is this. So for example, if you're getting it 500 rupees, then per day lead you are going to get is around 5 leads per day. Okay, so 5 leads per day you are getting on a week. On a week you only get 35 leads. 35 people will come inside the paid webinar. Out of these 35 people, how many will show up? Around 80% people will show up, because they have paid the money. That is why 80% people will show up. Okay, now out of 80% will people show up. For example, 30 people are in the workshop, and out of these 30 people, if you are converting at 10%, and 3 people will convert whatever you are selling. Maybe you are selling course, one-to-one call, a mentorship, whatever it is. If you're doing it right, then 10% conversion will happen, and 3 people will buy. For example, if you are selling something at 15k, okay, then 3 people into 15k, 45,000. Okay, 45,000 is the amount of money you will make on that webinar, workshop, masterclass, whatever you say. So this is the whole math that you will have if you do free webinar, paid webinar. So for a beginner coach, it is very hard to spend this much of amount of money to acquire one lead. So to acquire only 5 people, a beginner coach cannot spend. But the coach who have understood their numbers, business dynamics, they can spend this much of amount. So, or a free webinar. So that's why a beginner coach should go for a free webinar. After cracking the free webinar and getting the momentum by selling their initial level courses, then they should be moving to a paid webinar, so that they get higher intent of audience who wants to buy, and these people will buy your L0, L1, and out of these L1 type of community, these people will buy L2. So this will happen on, and this is how you will be gaining more customers, building community, and all those around. Okay, so I hope you have got the dynamics, which one should you go for. And if you have any doubts, if you have watching up to this point, it means that you are some kind of serious coach who really wants to start all of these things. So you can get in touch with me if you think that you are a right eligible coach for starting out this strategy. Will help you out. And so that's it pretty much for this video. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.